the individual per individual contact basis that you're approaching Afghanistan. So how was the relationship between, from your point of view, the relationship between the agency and the Hazara commanders on the ground? I mean, were there relationships at all, or were they more like a secondary group of people?
I think at the time everything, the agency had limited budget, it had limited resources, and I don't think it could do much else than deal with Masood at the time.
Hmm.
Obviously, we were aware, especially in Central Asia, of the Hazaras and their commanders. We were aware of the Uzbeks and their commanders, and and the others, the Tajiks, Ismail Khan, and so we had this constellation of commanders and warlords that we knew to be on the same side
Hmm.
as Masood, and by extension on our side. And just as importantly, you had lobbyists, so to speak. You had lobbyists in Central Asia that were, governments. Like naturally, the government of Uzbekistan was in favor of support to Dostum.
Yeah.
The government of Tajikistan, the Turkish government, and uh, and so forth. And of course, you had the Iranians, which were not so much, players in terms of lobbying the U.S. government. But so each of these commanders and warlords and parties had their own set of people that were supporting them, right?
Yeah.
So, the Russians were supporting, the Turks were supporting, the Iranians were supporting anti-Taliban
Yeah.
activity to some degree, to some
Yeah.
degree. For the Russians, it may have been more of a business venture. Uh, but so there were more players than the United States.
Hmm.
Now we can argue we're the biggest player, but at the time we were not the biggest player in the sense that the amount of support that we were giving to Masood was not that great.